Hello and welcome to the Neutral Zone, the Star Trek Original Series Set Tour official webcast.
The Neutral Zone.
Gamma Hyper, Section 10.
This month we have another special guest. His name is Eddie Paskey. Eddie played Lieutenant Leslie on the original series and was in over 50 episodes. Eddie came up to our Trekonderoga event last summer and we got a chance to sit down and talk to him.
As you know, I'm Lieutenant Leslie, and sitting on where George would be over here in that front navigating area is where I got my name. We were having a battle with the Klingons or something, I don't know what, but Bill was sitting here in the chair, and all of a sudden he stops. He says, wait a minute. He says, you know what? Eddie needs a name. He says, I can't just call him, hey, you. So he says, I'm going to call him Leslie after my daughter. So that night, or that day, I became, according to Bill, Mr. Leslie. Well, everyone refers to me as Lieutenant Leslie because I have stripes on my arm. And Mr. or Lieutenant Leslie was born at that day by Bill Shatner. Every day I came in at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was there until usually 6 at night when we get off. We lived in Desi Blue had Star Trek on their set or on their stage. Our next door to Desilu was Paramount, and eventually Paramount bought out Desilu. When Desilu and when they separated, then Lucille was the one that said, got it. But honestly, I think that Lucille or Lucy was instigator of making Star Trek who they are now. And I had worked with Gene Roddenberry before Star Trek. I was doing another movie or another. It was called Police Story, and they didn't sell it in on the stage or on the, and so it didn't go. But Lucy said, you know, she says, I think we ought to do Star Trek, and so Star Trek was bought in at that time. And Greg Peters was the assistant director on Lucy's show. Not I Love Lucy, but the Lucy Show. And in the Lucy Show, I did quite a few spots of Lucy. And so I knew Greg, and I knew him because of Police Story. And so he called me one day at work, and he says, and I was at the same time, I was working with my dad in a service station at that time. And Greg called, and he says, Eddie, he says, I'd like you become Bill Shatner's stand-in and double. What do you think? Do you think could you do that? I said, hadn't thought about it, but yeah, I said, I think it might be fun. Well, that allowed me to have 59 years, so it was 3 years of wonderful memory of being there. I left Star Trek because I was getting what we call cluster headaches. And cluster headaches are very similar to migraine headaches, but you don't get sick to your stomach like the migraine does. So because of my pale blue eyes, all of the lights would just tear me up at nighttime. It was just between that and hitting the back of the railing here at the bridge. I was hit on my back, and my back went, and I thought, oh man, wait a minute, I got to wait this out. So I did, and after that, I knew that I couldn't do any more. And so I did all of the shows with the exception of the last 8 before they let Star Trek go. And now I'm very grateful, very honored to be a part of the program. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience, as well as, of course, seeing the different places that we have been through Star Trek. For example, right now we're going through this new Trekonderoga area, and wow, what a neat thing that you guys have rebuilt. And I would just got to tell you that it was Friday, I guess, I saw this Star Trek, and I looked at it, and my eyes were so red and drippy that I could hardly talk. And it was like a walk back in time. And I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be there for you in doing that shot at this new Star Trek that James and everyone else that's here is creating Star Trek for us again. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that I'm here.
That's all for this episode. Please subscribe and like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Go to StarTrekTour.com for more information about tours, special events, and tickets.